What's going on, guys? Today I'm going to be bringing you my review of Rise of Venice. You guys might be familiar with the developers' gaming minds. They've done other games such as Port Royale and the Patrician series, both of which have garnered extensive critical praise, and the brand new Rise of Venice actually carries on the same tradition and style. The year is 1455. The world is your oyster, basically. You will rise at the top of the Venetian pecking order, or be forever relegated to the dustbin of history. Alright, to solve the mystery, you need to navigate the unforgiving waters of the Mediterranean, seeking out bargain goods to sell elsewhere at a hefty markup, while racking up power and political influence along the way. The core of Rise of Venice gameplay lies in trading as an economic simulator. It's surprisingly adept and addictive one at that. There's something inherently satisfying about striking a deal for surplus wine in Rome and hauling it south to Naples for a substantial profit. And the entrepreneurial spirit of the times, founded on the age of principle of supply and demand, is captured pretty good. In terms of ways that the developers created an atmosphere, there are a lot of factors. Firstly, the visual presentation is amazing. The way the water looks, the way the waves splash around against the coastlines and other buildings, it's amazing. Each port you'll find yourself trading in, it has tremendous animations. It's got a lot of detail. The bustling crowds and growing cities, lovingly illustrated with tons of colors. Additionally, the game runs very smoothly with seamless integration between various camera modes that make the busy shipping routes all the more attractive and easy to get a handle on. It's not too taxing on the system, allowing players with lower end machines to get it in on the fun. Although you might want to make sure your graphics card is up to snuff if you're interested in playing the game on max settings. I'm able to play the game max settings, no problem. I mean, I do have a 7970, but I haven't had any issues with running it on max, and my frames didn't drop under 60 at all, even while recording with two different programs, those being PlayClaw and Fraps. There's no need to sit through the intrusive loading screens. It's clear that one high priority was keeping a player as immersed as impossible. For those who remain skeptical at the premise, or perhaps are wondering how a trading simulator could really be all that fun, hauling goods only constitutes the nucleus of the game. Dozens of intriguing scenarios inevitably crop up as a result of this basic premise, and you'll be called upon to handle extremely urgent and dangerous matters at a moment's notice. Pirate attacks remain an unfortunate reality of a merchant's life, and they can be brutal, both in terms of difficulty and loss of life. Which brings us to another section, naval combat. Rise of Venice deserves major kudos for how unique it is, but it owes at least a moderate debt of gratitude to big names like Total War, especially like Shogun 2 in terms of the naval battles, and Civilization for their pioneering work. And the influence here comes through as a token of respect. One should note, however, that big games like that couldn't succeed without the innovation of the indie developers too. In other words, the success of Rise of Venice can be attributed partially to how much the developers paid attention to the things that delighted the audience at large for their chosen genre. As mentioned earlier, pirates can be devilishly tough to beat when you first start out. The battles become easier once you build up a decent convoy and provide it with certain necessary armaments, namely men, guns, and cannonballs. By recruiting sailors and purchasing firearms in the various cities where you conduct your business, you can make a rapid progress towards having the most fearsome fleet on the 7 seas. And the stronger your navy, the better your chance you have of dealing with unexpected hostile situations. The pirates you'll just be doing your trade routes, and pirates do just kind of pop up whenever they feel like it. It's pretty fun. When actually engaged in combat, Rise of Venice employs a fairly intuitive control scheme that has you click dragging with the right mouse button to steer your ship while trying to sink the other guy's boats by letting off repeated cannon barrages. An aspect that's sure to please a lot of players is the variety of arms that you can equip your convoy with, including oil slicks to bog down the enemy's exploding barrels that are basically sea mines. My personal favorite is the 2 cannonballs with a chain strung between them that spin through the air, snapping any masts they counter as if they were twigs. It's pretty fun. Disables their ship and they can't move around as much, and then you just sink them. At the end of the day, the sea battles are probably the most exciting part of Rise of Venice, but it'd be hard to say whether it's the best, since the game demonstrates an impressive well-roundedness that is all too rare these days. There are definitely some times when you lose an entire fleet and you might not be too happy watching them sink to the bottom of the ocean, along with that expensive hemp and wine you just purchased, and not to mention all your men and guns, plus your boats. But it's also a chance to reevaluate your allocation of resources and start anew, plus a kind of visual perk to make up for the fact that you just lost a fortune where sailors get tossed overboard. You have a certain amount of time to try and rescue them before a vicious great white snaps them up in a thrilling animation, which is just as lovely touch. May God rest their souls. Gaming Minds did include a multiplayer mode for up to 4 players. It allows you to carry on your trading rivalries with friends in a more competitive atmosphere. Many people will find that they'd rather spend all their time on the campaign since it gives you more control over the difficulty and competition levels, etc. There's less chance for interference or getting into too many fights with belligerent online opponents. It's not that people won't enjoy the multiplayer matches, but the single-player experience is amazing, and the missions range everywhere from acts of sabotage to espionage to shady political deals mixed with commerce and everything else in between. It's also worth noting that the learning curve for this game is actually really gentle, with tutorials that help you without being too intrusive. Though the game may seem complex on the surface, and the mechanics at play here certainly are, but getting a ton of enjoyment and replay value out of it is no challenge at all. If you've never tried Port Royal or Patrician, but are looking to explore a truly engaging period piece that will provide hours of entertainment, I highly recommend that you take Rise of Venice for a spin. As the latest offering from Calypso and Gaming Minds, the game succeeds at recreating an age out of mind through the modern design. And the presentation is as slick as any other new release you'll find out right now. It may not be for everyone, but if you count yourself amongst us people, there's an extremely good chance you'll change your mind and you'll be playing this gem. Let's see. I'll go ahead and give my pros and cons. I'll go pros first. My pros, the game's gorgeous. Just the atmosphere, it's beautiful to each and every last detail. The gameplay is quite addictive as you keep going through. It's got the gentle learning curve, like I said, despite the overall complexity and depth of the game. Engaging single player. The campaign's absolutely amazing. Tons of different missions. There's huge variety, and I can't get over the graphics enough. They're just, everything just flows perfectly and looks beautiful. Get into the cons. Sometimes the trading aspect of the game, it feels a little repetitive. Basically, you just get into a formula and it just feels a little repetitive, but not too bad because as you're trading, you're running into pirates and stuff like that. Sometimes it can take you forever to ascend to the next level in the Venetian society, which isn't too bad. You gotta make your way, earn your name and everything. It just takes a while, so it might push some people off. sometimes the mission objectives can be confusing. It's not real straightforward in what you actually have to do. Naval battles can be ridiculously difficult if you're running low on stuff or you get caught off guard, and then you will result in a tremendous amount of lost resources, which then you basically build from the ground up again. But I don't really personally dislike that. People new getting into the game having to start over when you're 6 or 7 hours into the game might be a little taxing on you. So I don't know, let me know what you guys think of the game. If anybody'd like to jump on and play, let me know. I'll jump in. Until next time.